Meet Chi Anh, a young food lover with an IT background who currently resides in Hanoi. Anh was born in Russia, and most of her childhood was spent moving with her family through Germany, Taiwan, and Singapore until she finally arrived in Vietnam in 2010. Anh is a hot blogger with tens of thousands of followers on her food blog named Door to My Kitchen. In 2011, she launched the KitchenArt store and studio in Hanoi, which provides kitchen supplies and cooking classes. And later on, she opened the cafe, a cafe and laid-back eatery. Anh is also popular on YouTube, TV, and in magazines as a kitchenaholic and creative chef, and was even invited to be a guest judge on MasterChef Vietnam.
Xin chào các kitchenaholics.
Her recently released cookbook has become one of the most sought-after publications of the year.
Hi Chi Anh. Firstly, I must admit that I am your huge fan. I just subscribe to your YouTube channel as well as your blog. And now that you just released a brand new cookbook, so I have this chance to meet and talk with you in person.
A book.
Wow.
Yeah, it's actually my second book. My first book is yet to be released in Vietnam, but it is releasing internationally. It's called Sweet Kitchens. It's about baking. And this book is a Vietnamese book mainly about daily cooking and the simple joys of creating new kind of dishes that people here may not be familiar with, but still very simple and easy to make.
The story of the two kitchens is actually a cookbook, first of all. But as I just glanced through it, and I can see besides the super slick images of food and dishes you feature in the book, it actually tells story, doesn't it?
Yeah, there are recipes and really nice pictures to give people the inspiration to enter the kitchen and create a nice dish for their daily meal. In between, there are stories about the friendship between me and my co-author Hoàng Anh, about how we met and how our friendship developed over time without ever meeting.
Okay.
And about passion and life in general.
They did many things together, from conceptualizing and building up the KitchenArt store and the cafe, to visioning and managing their online store and website, without ever meeting in person. In late 2013, when Hoàng Anh came to Vietnam to prepare for the book launch, they finally met. Living with her family in Australia, Hoàng Anh is a self-taught cook and baker and was one of the first food bloggers in Melbourne some 5 years ago. Her blog at angsfoodblog.com is on Australia's top 50 food blogs.
We have been friends for about 2 years, and we started doing our business together and then 2 books together and the cafe also conceptualized together, all this time without ever meeting in person. Everything was done through Skype, emails, chat, text. Technology allowed us to really communicate.
So in general, how much time does it take you to finish this project?
It took me about 3 or 4 months writing and testing the dishes, also producing them for the photo shoot. And I personally styled most of the pictures. Also, Hoàng Anh also shot her dishes in Australia where she is based. Finally, we have to edit over the internet together to bring all the pieces together, and then our publisher did the final print.
One thing that impressed me the most in this book is the colorful mix of the dishes and the food that you feature in it. Just as simple as Vietnamese sandwich with just lemongrass shrimp or scrambled eggs. Very casual, very easy and very hassle-free food and dishes. So is there any criteria for selecting the dish that you feature in the book?
We both feel that we like to spice things up and create new things out of old familiar things. So simple dishes that may be familiar to Vietnamese or to Asian in general, we try to add a new spin to it, make it more current, So in a way, we also adopt some of the trends overseas into the local kitchen.
You made the bún chả, but a different version of bún chả with salmon.
Yeah, it's mostly fresh ingredients. It's just perhaps different combination and mixes that people may not have thought of. But it's nothing fancy. It's really just casual, and daily, simple, healthy meals are what me and Hoàng Anh always feel.
The Two Kitchen story is a fun twist inspired by popular dishes from Asian and Western cuisine. Readers can find delicious dishes from pan-fried onion cake and Hong Kong-style macaroni to salmon bún chả, a different take on the traditional Vietnamese favorites. Desserts and snacks like apple pie, caramelized popcorn, vanilla ice cream, and coconut jelly are also featured to treat those with a sweet tooth. These dishes share many things in common: easy to find ingredients, easy to prepare, and super flavor.
So the way you feature the dishes and the food in this book is totally different from what I usually read in a lot of Vietnamese cookbook on the shelves now. So do you intentionally make it different that way?
Yeah, because both me and Hoàng Anh are food bloggers to begin with, so we have a lot of passion in telling stories around the food that we create or the food that we eat, and it's also the way we express ourselves. So naturally our cookbook will have to be a mix between recipes and little pieces that would help the readers feel inspired and maybe discover their own passion and discover parts of themselves that they never thought they would, because cooking and eating is pretty much an activity that you have with yourself. So it's important to let readers know that there are ways to find joy within yourself and not just within things that are outside of you. So I feel that it's also a very positive message to young people or women who are trying to find their way in life or getting by the daily struggles, that there is that little corner where they can go back to and have their own little world.
How about the parts or the work on this book that you wish you could do better if you had more time?
I would definitely prefer the book to be maybe printed in a bigger size, or have more recipes. We only had 3 months to produce the book, and there was some concern with the cost of printing because we insisted on color and all pages and good quality paper, so that's why the publisher went with a more modest size so we can make sure the book is affordable. But I would want the next book to have a bigger size, and perhaps it will be a bit more expensive.
Wow, it seems like you just embarked on a foodie adventure in the course of the last 2 years, from opening your first kitchen store to your cafe and later on restaurant. And you also managed to be a food idol, so-called, and you even published books on cooking.
It's crazy. I can't imagine I did all that.
So what's next?
Next, well, I feel that there are a lot of ways that food can help people express themselves, so I'm always following that path. So through weddings, events, birthday parties, if people want to have their special style menu, then maybe I think we can help. And also hopefully more cooking shows. I always like to produce videos, interactive videos to help people explore more about cooking.
How about books?
More books, of course. I'm already thinking about the next book with Hoàng Anh, and definitely we will not stop.
Chị Anh, thank you so much for your enthusiasm and love for food and cooking, and I wish you a soulful mind and just keep up your good work. Thank you very much.